The solar plexus is about our identity and the right to act. So this is above the belly button and below the heart. So it's kind of, if you just place a hand, say about an inch above your belly button, you're pretty much on your sacral, your solar plexus. And I actually find it very, very comforting to place my hands here, or one hand on my heart, one on my solar plexus when I'm meditating. So it's the colour yellow. The element is fire. So we've got Aries, Leo and Sagittarius. And the years of development here are 15 to 21. And you can imagine, you know, we're kind of like teenage into becoming a young adult. And that really is about expressing our identity. So it's about identity, personal power, confidence, assertiveness, personal boundaries, personal leadership, self-control and self-esteem. So this chakra always makes me smile, because it's where, as a young person, I wanted to express myself. I wanted to be seen as this whoever I thought I was at that time. And of course, you've still got your parents telling you what to do. And, you know, you often find there's a lot of conflict here. And, you know, this chakra really is about learning to be assertive, putting those personal boundaries in, you know, learning to say things like the word no, and no means no, and acting with confidence and really honouring our personal values. So a very, very, very important chakra. And often we might find that people try to diminish our personal power. We sometimes have a warped idea of our self-image and our self-esteem. You know, when we start to work with this chakra, it's almost like we're becoming this wonderful, powerful, strong warrior and goddess. Not a warrior that's going to go out and smite other people, but feeling that powerful inner energy. So it's also the place that we start to learn to tap into our gut feelings. So, you know, when we're grounded, that gives us that sense of security in terms of listening to our intuition. Then, you know, we start to acknowledge our feelings and emotions, and here it's like gut reaction, and it's about trusting that. So it's also about taking responsibility about how you want to live your life according to your values. So when this chakra is balanced and we're connected into it, we feel really confident in who we are. We have this sense of happy to be me. That's one of my big things that I work with my clients on, is I want them to be happy to be me. Not happy to be me, but happy to be themselves, of course. And it's where we learn to be assertive. You know, we learn the power of the I statement. This is how I feel. These are things that I desire. And this really helps us to get motivated, so we can put in some personal boundaries and really start to say, this is how I want to be, and this is how I want to show up in the world, and this is how I want to live my life. So it's asserting our will. So when we think about personal power, asserting our will in a really, really healthy, positive way. It's not about manipulating other people. Personal power can be about that, but it's how we assert ourselves in a really beautiful, strong, loving and powerful way. So this is also about valuing our relationship with ourselves, and therefore we can become our best friend and we can value our relationship with others. So in terms of manifesting the life that we want, it's about who we will become on the way to getting what we want. So when we're standing in our personal power, it's who do we want to become. Now the solar plexus is blocked by shame. So when we feel shameful, we forget that we have this right to act, because we feel embarrassed and we kind of sink into ourselves and we lose our self-esteem and our self-worth, because we feel ashamed of who we are, and we might feel ashamed of things that we've done. We've all done stuff, and it's working through those things that we feel ashamed of, so we can say, well, look, you know, it's in the past, we've done it, and it's about growing into who we want to become. So when we get caught up in this stuff, you know, I felt shameful about my body. I had stuff happen when I was a young person, and I felt really ashamed and embarrassed, and I hated my body, and I got caught up in all of this stuff. It affected my eating habits. It affected so many things, and what I had to learn to do was forgive myself and let go of the stuff that other people did to me that really was about them and not about me. So this feeling of being unloved and unworthy and dirty and ashamed, and you know, whatever shame brings up for you, is what happens at this area here. So when we start to work on our confidence and our assertiveness and our personal power, again, you know, it's about acceptance. It's about learning to love ourselves unconditionally. That's the past. This is the now. Who do we want to become? So this is where we start to build the foundations of choosing ourselves, so that we can then build those foundations, so that when we move into the heart, we truly can learn to love ourselves from a really, really beautiful, beautiful place.